you know, sure enough, it would be hard to get in there, and I'm sure they're not really worried about that because any put into it and what you surround yourself with. And so the things that are, you know, kind of bothersome nowadays is a lot of parents do allow their kids to have a cell phone.
Exactly. Because they're not going to lose their billions and billions of dollars. The CEOs make way too much money on these products and see another avenue of billions of dollars. They're going to dip their toe in it somewhere, somehow.
You, instead of just like being the bigger man, why not write a line in your next song about how, you know, you were gonna write about this, but you decided to be the bigger person. That's enough of a slam right there. As a, hey, I'm acknowledging this issue and I'm turning away from it. It doesn't even.
Welcome everybody to Two Couch Talk episode 12.
Hey,
Welcome
episode
back,
12.
everybody. Welcome back.
6 plus 6 equals 12. That's where we're at.
Quick maths.
Quick maths.
Quick maths.
And we're very excited to have you guys here. We really appreciate you if you're tuning back in, or if you're a new viewer, or if you found us through, you know, suggestions or searching us on YouTube, or, you know, however you found us. We're just happy that you're here and that you get to listen to us talk for about an hour or so.
Yep.
Hey.
So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. I'll be your host today. I'm Jared Mannche, and I am the ginger, if you did not know. I know I hide it pretty well, but...
Yeah, right. Not a lot of evidence there.
Exactly. I know. Shocker. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't see color around here, okay? Ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Stop being so judgmental.
Exactly. And to my in front is Alex Busta, and he is the glasses guy.
The glasses guy.
What's going
He
on,
wears
everybody?
glasses.
Good to see you again.
With the silky smooth voice.
Exactly. With more gray hair than Eli.
Hey. I think you had a double check for that one.
We won't go into that today.
It's a different day, a different topic for a different day. And then to my other in front is Eli Gavinci Raw.
Hey.
And he is the collared shirt wearer. He always wears collared shirts. I don't think I've ever seen him in a normal t-shirt in my life.
Which is going to change. One of these days I'm just going to do it just to mess with you guys and be like, what the hell's happening with the show?
Exactly. It's going to be weird. You're going to see his neck for the first time.
You can see my neck. See it right now. You made me fade away from the mic a little bit.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the topics. My first topic is going to be one that has been in the news quite a bit lately.
All right.
And we're going to be talking about the raid on Area 51.
All right. Raid on Area 51, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin. 10 minutes starts now.
All right. So what do you guys think about this whole raid on Area 51?
Really bad idea. Really bad idea. All right, so I mean, of course, if you guys don't know, it started as an event some guy created on Facebook, totally satirical. Let's raid Area 51. They can't stop us all. If we do our Naruto run, their bullets cannot hit us.
Yeah.
Obviously meant to be satirical, right? And so a lot of people are seeing it for what it is. However, you've got the other end of the spectrum too, of people who are like, well, yeah, they can't stop us all. What are they gonna do? Which is stupid because it's a military base. But
trained to kill on sight.
Right. So I think what it is it is a joke that some guy created that went a hell of a lot farther than he thought it was gonna it was gonna go.
He very much underestimated the power of the internet.
Very much so.
There's like hundreds of thousands of people who've signed.
Millions.
I think it's 1.5 million right now.
Pretty
or
sure it's
something
over
like
than that. It might have hit 2 million
yeah.
by now.
But let's be realistic. How many of those do you think are just like, I'm gonna joke around and be like, yeah, I want to be on this, but really it's just like,
right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna joke around. But there's still a good percentage that probably are 100% legit. I'm gonna do this.
Right, and a lot of people have, so many people have signed up that's the worry, is that obviously they're expecting the majority to think like, okay, this is facetious. This is obviously a joke. I'm going to mark I'm going because that'll be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But there is that worry since so many people have signed up that, the U.S. Air Force actually did issue a warning stating that any attempt to infiltrate this military base is very highly discouraged.
Yeah.
Very problematic.
They didn't specifically state lethally discouraged, but I mean, consider that it's citizens who would be trying to storm a U.S. military installation. I somewhat consider that to be treasonous. Because you're attacking a construct of your own country. You're gonna be trying to, I don't know how exactly they plan on, breaking in the people who are serious about this, if it's gonna be by force or
Yeah.
they're gonna try and sneak in. But any thought that they would have as far as how to get it is just a bad idea. It would be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
It would be really bad.
One theory that I heard, and it was just, a video that some guy posted, and he was like, what if the government created that post
just to see if people
knowing that people might take it like too far and that it might go like viral and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then because the base is allowed to use lethal force, there's warning signs all over the place that like if you cross like a certain line, which is like at least a good mile away from the actual like center of the base, that you'll be arrested. And they have guards there 24/7, 365 that watch those lines, and that they can use lethal force. So it's like, what if the government created that so then the people who did go were just dumb enough to go, and then it's like natural selection in a way.
It was that seems really far fetched.
I know, but it was just like I just thought it was funny that it was like, oh yeah, the government totally thought of this because then we can just weed out all the stupid people in the U.S.
Yeah,
that'd be good stuff. That'd be kind of funny. Because it's supposed to happen in
September 20th, I believe.
September 20th?
Yeah.
And that I never understood. If you're going to go storm a military base, which is highly guarded, highly, media, in the medias for these specific things, why the hell would you want to put the date, this is exactly when it's going to happen, instead of kind of like trying to be more cryptic about it, so that way people could figure it out, but not them, so they don't know exactly when you're going to do it. Because then it's kind of like obvious that if you're going to do it this specific day, well, then we just got to make sure all our troops are set up, and then we're going to gun you guys down as you come roaring up.
Right. Well, and that all, that the kind of, I guess, stupidity of that stems from the fact that the guy created the thing as a joke. It was never, he didn't mean it to be taken seriously.
Exactly.
This guy's actually worried that
he might be prosecuted or associated.
That a lot of these people are going to show up at his home and expect him to organize this this thing or something like that. And he obviously is seeing like, oh wow, okay, this has gotten super out of hand. I would like to distance myself from it now because I don't
absolutely
I don't want the backlash or anything like that.
So my dad is in the Air Force, and I just recently went to go see him, and I asked him, I was like, hey, I talked to him about it, and he had heard about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what do you think? Do you think like with enough people that they could get through to the base, and he we were eating dinner, and he's eating, and he kind of looks up at me, and then he looks back down, and he goes, no, not even close. Not even, they probably wouldn't even get, 200 feet behind that line.
Yeah,
because trust me, raiding a military base is not a good idea.
Yeah, because I mean, they could just drop one little missile right there, and that devastates thousands and thousands of people. Probably closer to 1 million if they just drop one specific one, and it won't even get near the base.
It's not. It's not a
it's
good
just
idea.
it's not a good idea. Period. Like you guys, if we have listeners right now who are actually thinking maybe they should try to do this, we here at Two Couch Talk worry about your safety.
Yeah.
Please don't do it. It's not worth it. It's okay with knowing that there's a possibility that this area, this military base may or may not have secrets, but they want to keep it a secret for whatever reasons. Live with that. It is what it is. It's okay. Your life's way more important than getting shot down, and then that'll be the story of how you're a part of the Area 51 massacre.
Exactly. Or what if there's no aliens there? They just go there for no reason.
For no reason.
Let's say
it's just a storage place.
By some ungodly miracle that they made it all the way to the base and they got inside, and there's oh yeah, there's no aliens. It's just kind of a normal military base.
Yeah.
Well, it's
just a storage facility for all the old equipment that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Tanks, etc.
Exactly. These conspiracy theories about Area 51 have been going on for so long that it's people don't really know what else to think about it.
Yeah, kind of convoluted and muddied.
You have to even wonder at this day and age, Area 51 is a known thing. It's we know it's there. We know it's a military base.
Yeah.
We know all of that stuff. But I can't imagine that any base or any hold that the government would have that held things that were absolutely not supposed to be known about by the general public. I can't imagine that base is even on record. I can't imagine it's known of by anybody other than who works there and basically lives their entire lives there.
Exactly.
I don't think they really let a whole lot of new people come in. I don't think they let a whole lot of people go out. It's one of those things where why would they store all these highly classified things at a place where the location is known? Mm-hmm. Sure enough, it would be hard to get in there, and I'm sure they're not really worried about that because any military base is going to have the manpower and firepower that it would need to defend itself, as well as the state secrets or technology or what have you that it's they're defending or developing or whatever. But it's why even give people the chance? Just if it was me, I'd be let's build a base underground and
just don't list it or nothing like that, and everyone just stay secret. Yeah, I agree with you because it's and even then, okay, let's say hypothetically they did have some type of technology no one's supposed to know about, and then it got out Area 51 has technology, they would just move it. We could easily move it. It could be easy on a different. It could be on a base somewhere that it's like you said, disclosed location. It's inside a mountain right now. No one knows about it.
Yeah.
It's just a famously known joke. I don't know. I think of it as a joke, but base. It's not really. I don't know. It's just kind of.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. It's a
bad idea. You should not raid.
No way to look at it other than a bad idea.
Force your way into any kind of military base.
No.
Whether it be Area 51 or any sort of military installation. It's just a bad idea.
Bad idea.
All right. So seemingly we're all in agreement. If anybody out there is considering actually going through and doing this, please don't. We care about your safety. Care about having people alive still to watch our show. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need you guys to spread the word.
We need you guys to spread the word.
And of course, again, as we were stating, it's you can't attack a base of your own. If somebody else from another country decided to start doing that and attacking our base, we would consider it an act of war.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, bad idea, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do it.
All right. So that was our first topic, the raid on Area 51.
Yep.
And I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
So
it's a big old no.
Big old no. So now we're going to move on to Alex Busta.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about his topic for 10 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, and the funny thing is that you can tell that this is a show where we honestly do not tell each other our topics ahead of time. And the proof in the pudding is that we just talked about my topic for 10 minutes, which was going to be the raid on Area 51. And I even explicitly told these guys, man, I hope one of you guys doesn't take what I'm going to talk about.
But it is true. You did say that.
It is what it is.
Saying that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a live shoot. So we're going to move on to a little a B topic that I kind of prepared.
Just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, you never know. So my topic today that I want to talk about is technology as we have today in the hands of children. How early is too early? What kind of things should their parents be allowing them to do? And what are the pitfalls of children having access to such technology so early in life?
All right. So 10 minutes starts now. And if some of you guys at home are kind of thinking like, wait a minute, that kind of sounds familiar. Well, Jared and I have discussed this before, but not into like great depths. But we have touched on this a little bit and what we thought about it. So let's just jump back into it. So if you guys know what it is in the comments below, please write what episode it was. And if you do, we will like it.
Exactly. We'll pin it to the top.
We'll pin it to the top.
All right. So I think that even my age, I didn't have a lot of technology growing up. You know, we had landline phones.
Yep.
I remember back in the first grade, second grade, we had like tests in our classes where we had to memorize our parents' phone numbers, our home phone number, and our address and everything. And we had to like recite, like tell the teacher that, because we needed to know that stuff. We couldn't just like go through our contacts list and be like, hey, here's this. And we didn't have any cell phones.
Yeah,
so,
mom's and dad's phone numbers right here.
Exactly. We all had to have it memorized. So, and I know you guys are a little bit older than me, so
only a little. Yeah, tiny.
Exactly.
That's why I said it real low into the mic.
But like, I think we all kind of grew up with technology advancing.
Yes.
In the sense that like there was a huge advancement in technology within our lives.
Without a doubt.
And
I still remember when they didn't have smartphone packages yet for cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they introduced that, it was like insane the price that they wanted to like tack on.
Oh,
and then now it's like feasible. It's like, okay, anyone can afford that now.
Exactly. So, I think we maybe had like one old computer when I was in like 6th grade or something, like later on. And my parents had, flip phones, and they thought, and that was like the latest and greatest flip phone. And then
the Razor from Motorola.
Yeah, the Razor Motorola.
Yep.
And I think you can't rely, like, already our lives, we rely so much on technology that we probably couldn't live without it. Like, I guarantee if we got rid of all technology in the world, if we went back to like Stone Age, like I'm talking like we had to like hunt and do all that stuff in our current time, I don't think we'd be able to do it.
I don't know, because I think push comes to shove, you don't know what you're capable of until it's like you have to. There's a difference in life when you're just like, oh, I want to, blah, 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 but you don't really have to if you want to. But then when it comes down to, you may not eat tomorrow or the next day or even the next day. So it's like, okay, I have to, kind of like the whole gimmick of wanting to do more with your life, and you have a career or something like that you want to do. Well, you got to be in the mind state that you have to. Because if you don't, then you're just like, oh, I'll put it off to tomorrow. I'll put it off to tomorrow. Put it off to tomorrow. And then before you know, you're like, wow, I should have done that months ago. I'm really stupid, because now the have to is getting close to passing now. So it's just like, I don't know. That's why I think like push comes to shove. Maybe you might do it. But to like elaborate on Alex is what he's specifically saying. I think it's because I've discussed this with a woman that I've talked to before, and she told me like, there has to be a balance on it, because kids nowadays know this as the norm. Like, that's just normal for them. Like, they don't know the difference of this never existing as technology. Like us, we do. We know exactly when it came into play. We understand the advancements of it, and hell, we're seeing the advancements as we speak. I mean, hell, right now we're filming this on a high def Canon camera, with this type of stuff, which is normal. This is analog, but then it gets transferred into digital in a computer. Like, it's all done like that. Whereas before, we had to buy an old school video camera, set up, and then record it all, and then edit it within their programming features, and then release it such.
Well, and the computer that we use has a touchscreen.
True.
I remember when touchscreens came out.
Yeah.
And that was like
huge.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like insane.
Yeah, I remember wanting to have a keyboard still because I wasn't used to the touchscreen.
Yeah, right. I hated I remember I hated the keyboard on touchscreen phones
because they didn't work right.
Because they didn't work right.
Yeah,
and it, like, you couldn't get the feeling of it. So, like, you didn't know when you'd press a button or anything.
Exactly.
You didn't have that that feeling, that tactile
that click. Yeah, exactly.
It's confirming that you push the thing.
Exactly. So, another one about like kids, or me being a kid and us being like growing up, is that, do you guys remember texting on 1 through 0 on 1 through 0 phones?
So 111 222 1344 111.
Dude, I was a master at that. I could whip out a text message so quick, and we had like character limits, so that's when we really had to do. That's when we really had to put, like, we'd use R as the letter R, or U as the letter U, or we abbreviate stuff to make it so we could send more text within our character limit for the month.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guarantee I give an old flip phone with that kind of keyboard on it to a kid nowadays, they'd be like, I don't know how to use this.
Yeah.
Why are there multiple letters on the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Does the touch screen isn't working?
Yeah.
But I think kids today, if we're going back to the original question, I think kids today rely way too much on technology, more so than we do in our daily lives, and that parents give them that technology just so they don't have to deal with the children at that particular time.
Exactly.
Sure. Now, what in addition to that, what kind of detriment do you guys think that having access to this technology, especially so early in life for kids, what kind of detriments do you think that will cause, currently while they're children, and then developmentally later in life?
Well, I think one thing that I think we see already, and there's like jokes about this, a bunch of kids between, let's say, like 98, 99 and like 2005-ish, like all those kids kind of fight with each other, and they're like, the 98, 99s are like, oh, we don't want anything to do with the 2000, 2001 kids, and the 2000, 2001 are like, oh, we don't want anything to do with the like 03, 04, because it's like it's so different the way they think. Mm-hmm. And I think that change is that kids, when they grow up with that kind of access to the internet and stuff like that, they get their personalities based on what they see on YouTube or on TV or on social media, and that's where they develop their personalities. So when we were growing up, we had to go outside, hang out with our friends, learn our family members, learn experiences through trial and error.
Yeah.
We'd get hurt. We'd try and jump over a fence, and we couldn't make it, and then we'd fall and scrape our knees or something. We'd be like, probably shouldn't do it that way. Maybe I could go around, or I could lift myself up, grab bring this giant rock over here and step up onto it. We had to figure stuff out like that. I think it having that face-to-face interaction, or being out in the world like that,
some type of adversity in life,
builds your character a lot more than just tweeting, watching a YouTube video, or watching Netflix, or TV or whatever.
Well, and you can even step away from character development and just look at the basic like cognitive development. your kids have to. You have the greatest ability for cognitive development when you're a kid. Your brain's a sponge. It's soaking up so much of what you put into it and what you surround yourself with. And so the things that are, kind of bothersome nowadays is a lot of parents do allow their kids to have a cell phone or a tablet or, just something just for them so that they can watch or do whatever it is that they want to do. But I don't think that necessarily, like you said, a lot of that's kind of a, look, I need something to keep you busy tactic to kind of take some stress and whatnot off of the parents.
Yeah, we're at the grocery store. Here, play with this. And I don't want to deal with you right now.
Right. But, it doesn't necessarily bode well for the child, because all that's being input into them during their free time when they're handed a device like that is just entertainment thing, which, don't get me wrong, entertainment is definitely necessary for development of personality and things
especially
like that.
When it's 2 couch talk.
Right. But it doesn't necessarily help you develop, your learning skills, your ability to remember things, your, other skills that are necessary beyond just being entertained.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, but would you guys like to use your 5 minutes?
Nah.
No?
I'll use my 5 minutes.
Use your 5? All right.
Yeah. I think we're on
Jared Mannche, ladies and gentlemen, has used his 5 minutes.
I think we're on
Please
a roll
like,
here.
comment, and subscribe. That Jared Mannche finally broke his streak. All right, let's begin. 5
Okay.
minutes. Well, I'm glad you used your 5, because I was like, I wanted to keep going on it.
Why didn't you use your 5?
Too bad you used it.
You said no first.
So, well, how do you guys feel about the science is showing that little kids are actually growing a horn in their lower part of their skull because their head's always tilted like that? Have you seen it? You haven't seen this?
No.
Yeah, it was even like on the trending and all that in Google. But yeah, somehow the way their head's always tilted and how it's angled because of always watching their phone, they're actually, ooh, wow, very unprofessional. There was actually it's basically like a spur, but they're calling it a horn, is growing inside their neck downward to kind of help support their neck because they're not supporting it correctly, always looking down or up.
Interesting.
So yeah, so they don't know if it's one of those like evolutionary thing. Is that what's humans they're now doing it because of the evolution because our heads always tilted, or is it just the body naturally compensating for it to try to fix it? Like
well, I'd put my money on the latter, because the former takes hundreds and thousands of years to happen.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
For physical evolution.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's a way that your body reacts to it. Like what phone or what hand do you guys hold your phone with? Primarily your right.
My right. Yeah.
Just put your right pinky next to your left pinky. Your right one have a bend in it. A little bit towards the end.
Nope.
Interesting. A lot of people do because they use that pinky to support their phone while they're holding it in their hands, so it's always cradled right in the one place.
I
So
see.
a lot of people
they're holding it like this.
Yeah,
so exactly.
Curvature.
Exactly.
Okay.
So a lot of people are kind of developing a more of a curvature in the finger that they're supporting their phone with. That's physiologically, it's actually affecting people.
Yeah.
Not that that's negative or anything like that. It's an oddity.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big eye opener as to the amount that we're using this technology. We're using this stuff so much that it is affecting our bodies physically.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that we're literally always surrounded by radio waves, things like that.
Yes.
People have a lot of worries about 5G coming out. Well, some people have a lot of worries about 5G coming out because it's going to be such a high intensity radio wave, and it's going to be something that's located right next to your head.
Well, some studies have shown that a lot of women put phones and wallets and stuff in their bra straps, and that when they put their phone there, it causes breast cancer because of the radiation being put off from their phone.
Right. And it's such an interesting thing because, like you're talking about, it's like we cannot live without technology, which to a degree I'll definitely admit, but we're utilizing it so much for things that aren't necessarily important that it's affecting us, and really none to all in a positive way.
Yeah. Another really bad thing that I've noticed is that, and I'm guilty of this as well, is that when our parents, like all of us, when our parents met, they didn't meet on Tinder or Twitter or something, or Instagram or whatever. Yeah. They met out somewhere random. Like my parents, my dad went to his friend's party and my mom just happened to be there, and they started talking and they started dating, and then they got married.
Yep.
And he had to go and talk to her and make the first move and make a good impression, take her out on dates, stuff like that. And it's like, people just don't do that anymore. They're just like, oh, I'll just, swipe right on Tinder. Yeah. And I'm guilty of that as well. I've used Tinder before, but it's like, it doesn't feel natural at all. It's like, I feel so disconnected from it. It feels so like automated.
It's impersonal.
It really is.
Because you don't have that interaction with a person.
Exactly.
You're not even knowing, you might swipe right on somebody who could be your soulmate. Who knows? I mean, I'm guessing you're probably not going to find your soulmate on Tinder, but but I mean, that's the thing, is like, you don't get to know anything about this person.
Yeah, besides what they write down, and that could be a lie.
Yeah, and then just whatever photos they provide, and it's like, okay,
that could also be a lie. People catfish on Tinder and all those dating apps all the time.
Social media all the time. Sure.
There's always something to be gotten.
Exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was 5 more minutes.
All right.
On Alex Busta's topic.
Would either of you like to use your 5 minutes?
No, we talked it. We're good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up the horn theme. That's why.
Oh, okay. All right. So that was Mr. Alex Busta, the glasses man, is his topic. And that was technology in the hands of children.
Of minors.
Good or bad?
Good or bad.
And I think we are all in agreement saying that it's mostly bad.
Because without a doubt, it's just the parents. They're the ones who need to dictate it and say, you know what, like before when we talked about it, where you have only a little bit of time on this, and then the rest of the time you need to go out and play or hang out with some friends or let's go eat or do something. Get your mind off of it.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we're going to move on to Eli Gavinci Raw's topic for the day. And Mr. Gavinci Raw, what would your topic for today like to be?
Okay, so this one's one of those topics we touched on a little bit, but we always said we would go back to we never have it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about tobacco and the big tobacco industry and what it's doing and how much has changed over the years. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
10 minutes. And the reason why I say it like that's changed over the years, because I realize now that it's not as prevalent of people smoking cigarettes now. Usually you see people like vaping. But then some studies have shown that vaping is better for you. It's not great for you, but it is better for you. And then, some say that it might be worse for you, even though it doesn't affect your lungs, but it also affects other things because it has a lot more chemicals in it. So there's certain like angles I've seen, from studies and things like that specify that these are these and these are that. I mean, smoking in general is bad for you. No matter what angle you put it at.
Right.
They've even proven it for like smoking weed. Smoking weed is not really good for you. You can actually create wax out of it or create something like an oil that you could take that's not going to affect you because it's the smoke basically polluting your lungs. Your lungs are designed to actually only intake O2 or C2 or something like that, and then expel. Oh no, it's supposed to H2O or H2, and then it disperses C2. Or CO or one of those.
Okay.
I'm way off.
Oxygen is O2.
O2.
Carbon dioxide is CO2.
CO2. Thank you. And that helps feed trees and etc. So it's like, I get that. So I want to know what you guys feel about it.
All right. So
thanks for backing me up, by the way. Normally you just run me over with it.
I kind of wanted to see how far you were going to go.
I was going to go until I remembered and then corrected myself.
Okay. So for anybody that doesn't know, I do vape, and it's definitely like, obviously the healthiest way of living is just not doing anything.
Yeah.
But my whole thing when people say that vaping is worse for you than smoking is I'm like, okay, that's bullshit, and here's why. It's because at least the juice okay, so juice is the liquid you put inside, and then you have cotton inside that absorbs it with a coil inside. You run electricity through the coil that's made out of different types of metal. They do titanium, nickel, there's like one other one, but I can't remember it.
I would assume platinum.
Stainless steel. I don't think platinum.
No? Okay.
But so you run a thin coil, and then you run electricity through it. He heats it up, and the juice that's soaked into the cotton vaporizes.
Okay.
It turns into like that water vapor. There's no water in it, but it's water vapor. And the only thing that juice is made out of is propylene glycol, which is I don't know what that is, but it's something. I believe it's natural. There's vegetable glycerin, which is also natural, artificial flavoring, and then nicotine sometimes. People
depending on which one you buy and stuff. Or
people can get without nicotine.
Yeah, I've seen that because I knew a girl. She would do it without the nicotine.
Yeah,
and
because some people don't want that addictive.
You know, and then there's other people on the other spectrum who do it with CBD oil, like all those plus CBD oil.
Yeah,
I've seen that too.
Yeah, and so that all of that is not
as chemically inducing as tobacco.
Well, the nicotine is the only thing that's addictive.
Well,
and the other parts, especially if you come from a smoking background,
mm-hmm.
a lot of the times the smoking itself isn't the actual thing that's wrong, that's addictive. It's like, if you've been doing it for long enough, it's like the motion of it. If you see like ex-smokers will do a lot of they'll eat like chips or something. They have to do something with their hands because there's
some type of habitualness.
Yeah, because they're so used to like bringing something up to their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's every a fixation.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not always that nicotine or the chemicals that are inside the cigarettes or the vape juice or whatever, what have you.
That provokes them to.
It's just that action of it.
Okay.
It's like breaking that habit of like taking something, bringing it up to your mouth, putting it down. People eat a lot of chips, or they'll chew gum, or they'll do something else that just like distracts them from that habit.
Okay.
So obviously cigarettes are not good. Vaping is better, but still not perfect. So overall, I think cigarettes should go. Vaping should probably stay until cigarettes are gone, and then you like move away from vaping. If you were trying to go in like steps of like eliminating everything.
Okay. I can respect that, because even in like, I do realize that let's be honest, vaping has put a huge damper into tobacco industry.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure tobacco industry is without a doubt gotten its hand in there some way or somehow.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you go there and you're like, let me get that one, and really that one's Marlboro, or that one's gonna be Camel, or one of those, and they just rebrand it without their name, so you're just like, oh, well, I'm supporting this habit. It's a lot less worse.
And you think you're buying something from someone different.
Exactly.
But you're really not.
Exactly. Because they're not going to lose their billions and billions of dollars. The CEOs make way too much money on these products and see another avenue of billions of dollars. They're going to dip their toe in it somewhere, somehow. Like I discussed this before when we talked about weed, Marlboro's already has their weed packs ready.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 12 or 20 joints, something like that. And I think it's like $80, $70, something like that. But once it's fully legal in the United States, they're going to start selling at like CVS, Walgreens, and there's a third one. I think it was Walmart. They're already listed that those are going to be the areas where they sell it at, where they market it.
Yeah, because it's like they're just going to grow. Obviously, like let's say, I mean, this is kind of reaching, like I'm really reaching on this one. But in like a perfect world, like the companies themselves aren't really being like evil in a way just by selling this product. It's like the company is just a company, whether it's McDonald's or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they're like, okay, cigarettes are bad, but we're going to move to this. It's like, okay, but they're still the same company. It doesn't,
Well, okay, I get what you're saying. See, like, to give an example, like what Mannche's trying to say is, remember when Nutella first came out? It was marketed as a healthy food product. Now they've shown the study is Nutella is super bad for you. It has a ton of sugar for you in it, and it causes a lot of health issues like diabetes and all that. But originally it was marketed as a health product. Even like back in the day when you see old smoking commercials in the 50s and 40s, it was like marketed way different than it is now because it's like it's obvious it's bad for you.
Well, they used to put like heroin and cocaine in like medicine.
Delicious.
Yeah, old cough syrups and stuff like that had all kinds of stuff.
They had a whole cocktail of illegal drugs in them.
Right.
Coca-Cola.
And as far as like, as far as the advertising on it goes, they just they do what they need to do to remain relevant in the time. But realistically, does a cigarette company actually need to advertise? I don't think a lot of people.
They're not allowed to advertise. It's illegal.
Well, right, but like, what would be the point even if they could? They don't have to. Their product advertises itself. It's not anything that I very highly doubt that a person would look at a magazine ad and say, "Whoa, cigarette. I've got to go start doing that right now.
I got to check that out."
I mean, it's exposure to people, and the problem was that it was, getting exposed to kids and stuff like that. If there were ads in magazines back in the day and things like that, and not allowed to advertise anymore at all. But back then, it was kind of a free for all, and they didn't care if kids saw it or anything like that, because it's like, well, if a kid sees it, if a kid starts smoking, we got another customer.
Exactly.
And
for life.
They don't see human lives. They just see money.
Well, no, and because this is an industry that that is totally comfortable profiting off of the death of millions of people every year, and well, maybe not millions, but hundreds of thousands. I don't really know how many issues are. How many deaths could be attributed specifically to smoking, whether due to emphysema, cancer, any of the long list of things that are bad that come out of having that habit. It's one of those things where I hate saying it this way, but like, this is America, and we have all kinds of companies that produce things that are not necessarily beneficial to the health and well-being of the population. You mentioned McDonald's before. I don't even know if they make actual food anymore. It's a
styrofoam now.
But again, this is America. We have if you want to clog up your arteries with a double cheese and smoke a giant cigar with a glass of whiskey, you have the choice and the freedom to do that here.
To do so, absolutely.
And all that these companies are doing are providing a means. You wanted to have a cigarette? Hey, we make cigarettes. Here you go.
Exactly.
All right, that was my topic. Would you guys like to? Would you like to use your 5, Alex?
No, I'm good.
I'm actually on the fence about it, but I think we kind of covered on it. More or less, it's bad, but reality, they're lost some money, but they're not going to ever really go away. Would that be the general consensus? What we came to?
Yeah, I'd say so.
They tried to make alcohol go away during Prohibition. We all saw how well that worked.
Yeah, and then, well, even with vaping hurting it a little, it's not going to change nothing because I'm sure they're in that avenue already.
Yeah,
right.
They'll just change their marketing plan.
Yeah, they already have, and then even like with weed, they already. You could look that up, and I already saw and did all my research, and I'm like, yep, they're the ones who are going to control that if they can. So, anyways.
All right. So we're going back to me. That was Gavinci Raw's topic. Tobacco industry. Good or bad? Mostly bad.
Mostly bad. But ultimately, it is your choice.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Nobody's forcing you.
It can all be bad and still be your choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody's forcing you to do any of this. It's your choice whether you do it or not. So my next topic is going to be diss tracks.
Diss tracks. The old-timey screw you on a musical song. All right, 10 minutes begins now.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about diss tracks because recently I was like, just driving in my car, and then on my Spotify playlist, Kill Shot by Eminem came up.
Okay.
And that was his diss track against Machine Gun Kelly when they were beefing last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
Just over. And that's the thing.
That was kind of a. It was the beef wasn't really all that important.
Yeah.
So my whole thing about saying diss tracks is, do you think that it brings out more music? Do you think it can help shape someone's career? Do you think like it can ruin someone's career? Is it beneficial to have these in the music industry, or should people just do their own thing and not beef with each other and make a song about it?
Yeah,
well, I mean, it'd be nice if people just didn't have these arguments and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't necessarily think just producing a song that just slams another person is necessarily the best way to take care of it. However, it entertains people and
very amusing.
Give
Yeah.
people what they want.
It makes some pretty good music. I'll give it that.
I mean, that's the thing, though, is like artists are always gonna provide. At least the popular artists are always going to provide what they think the people want to hear out of them the most, whether it's something new that, the people want to hear something they haven't done before, or, I love it when this dude sings songs about, I don't know, growing up or falling in love or this or that. And
yeah.
it's the same with it. Obviously any kind of music. I know we're primarily talking hip hop here, but in any kind of music you can write a song about damn near anything.
Yeah.
But the thing is so much of music culture is intertwined with popular culture now, and if you put these two people in the spotlight and you kind of highlight the fact that they're having a feud about this, that, or whatever, people want to see retaliation. I don't really think that says a whole lot of great about us.
Yeah,
probably not.
It really doesn't. To be honest with you, personally, I would be happier if someone took the emotion that they got from a feud like that and put it into a song that is about something that they would have written or I don't know exactly where I'm going with that. It seems to me it seems kind of childish. Like, oh, well, you said something about me, so I'm going to say something about you, instead of just like being the bigger man. Why not write a line in your next song about how, you were gonna write about this, but you decided to be the bigger person. That's enough of a slam right there. As hey, I'm acknowledging this issue and I'm turning away from it. It's not big enough to bother me.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why you saw me on my phone was I know one of the oldest ones in musical history is Louis Armstrong, but for the life of me, I couldn't remember who it was that he was having problems with. And then I just real quick just check. Make sure I was right, and it was Miles Davis. And those are old jazz musicians. If you ever get a chance, go look them up. The most notably biggest jazz song is Louis Armstrong's Beautiful World. And that song, so it's like, and they say it in their music, I have a problem with so-and-so, I don't like them, and they'll make fun of each other and how they played the trumpet or how they did this, and they put it in the song, and that's back in the 50s, I want to say, maybe 60s, depending on time frame of how long it lasted. But that was like one of the old original like discs. They would actually publicly go in public, put it on a record, or even just like go and perform it, like, screw that person, this is what I'm going to say, and blah blah blah. So it's like it's been around for decades in different genres. I know, like funk, if you go back and you could hear it, like they had situations with the it's not the Gap Band. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart here. Someone with Lionel Richie. He was in a group, and then he had problems with them, and then they broke apart, and then they made music afterwards about Lionel Richie leaving the group. So it's been prevalent in music industry, especially with like pop, with people having problems with their record labels. So I wouldn't say leave it and go solo. Then it's when they start making songs about that record label, like screw you guys.
Yeah.
But like you guys said, it's entertaining.
It is.
I'm guilty of it. There's some of my favorite songs ever. This songs to people, and it's like, oh, he said so and so, and he said this, and he was real clever in how he said it, or she said it. It's like, oh, that's really neat. But it's just, I mean, I get what you're saying, because then it's like, does it play into the lesser minded? Like, is it just that, like, almost primitive human thoughts that we have? The more controversial it is, the more neat or cooler it is.
Yeah.
Or is it more like, oh, it's just because you got to think of it a certain way, it's like an art form, or how do you do it? Because then it almost gets into like battle rap, where all they do is literally diss each other, and that's the whole point of it.
Yeah. And it turns into like a war almost, especially when it's two popular artists.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go back to Eminem and MGK, and they have very big fan bases. Obviously, Eminem's is bigger, but they both have very big fan bases, and they both release songs, and each one of their fan bases is going to support the artist that they like more. So then it turns into a huge war of like, well, you suck because, and these people have no beef with each other besides they don't like the same artist.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, you suck because you like Eminem. He's like, you suck because you like MGK. And then they start like going at each other on Twitter and stuff, and that's kind of entertaining. Personally, I personally find that very entertaining.
All it is, man, is really, really rich people who have some talent pulling you into their bullshit that you should have never had to be a part of.
Exactly.
So
Because
is.
One of the most biggest ones that's obvious is the Tupac and Biggie one.
Yeah.
That literally started a coast war, but that was the media and how they twisted it to get it to be, it was the West Coast versus the East Coast. So it was like this music genre versus this music genre, and that even bled into other genres, because it was like there was a divide literally in the United States of, you really can't go perform over there, you might die, and vice versa. It was like a lot of people didn't like each other.
West Coast is better, by the way.
Oh, we don't mean that, ladies and gentlemen. That side of the couch does not represent this side of the couch, right, Alex?
I'm just staying out of the whole thing. I got my own bullshit to deal with. I don't need to deal with Eminem's bullshit. I don't need to deal with Biggie's bullshit. They should have kept it to themselves, wrote it in a damn journal, and moved on with their lives.
You got a good point there.
So my other part of the question was like, can it help or hurt somebody's career?
Oh, without a doubt, it can hurt someone's career.
I could do both.
Another thing. Okay, so for the third time going back to Eminem and MGK, because this is the most recent one that I know of, and because it has it encompasses a lot of these questions that I have, and it's like, MGK got super popular off that. He got way more recognition than he ever had doing, like, when he sent that diss to Eminem, and then Eminem fired back, and one of the lines in Eminem's song is like, I had to give you a career, like this is as big as you're gonna get, this is your moment, so enjoy it. I had to give you a career to destroy it. And it's like, I mean, that's a pretty good line in my opinion. But it's like, he had to, like, MGK was like here, like he was like down here, and then now he's like way up here because of this diss track, and then he kind of dropped down a little bit afterwards, but he still like probably gained some followers off of that because people checked out his other music, and they were like, oh, he's actually really good. Yeah. So there was also Eminem versus Ja Rule.
That's the one I was going to bring up. That's
a good one.
But I was going to bring up 50 Cent. Okay. Literally destroying that man's career.
Yeah, that is true.
Until this day, still trolling him on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff.
Or Eminem versus Benzino.
Yes.
And Benzino just recently got, I mean, his career was never the same after that.
No.
And he went downhill and
nail in the coffin, literally.
Oh, yeah. And just recently, like, I think maybe a month ago or something, he was throwing racial slurs at cops and got arrested for something. It was something big. It was something big.
Sure they could do assault, because you could do verbal assault on a police officer.
No, but it was like he was arrested for something.
Oh, okay.
And then he was doing that, and there was body cam footage of it. But like, those careers got destroyed because of the beef they got in.
All right, so that's 10 minutes. Would you like to use your 5, Alex?
Nope.
And I'm gonna hold on with my 5 too.
All right. All right. So that was my topic, diss tracks.
Diss tracks.
Are they beneficial or
No, man.
are not beneficial?
Diss tracks distract. And it
Hey.
takes
Ooh.
you away from...
That's a bar right there. That's a bar.
Scott's bars.
And that shit takes you away from creating the music that you would have otherwise done. And it drags a whole lot of other people into your problems so that these people who don't even know each other can have problems with each other based on some shit that you're dealing with this other guy because you don't want to just keep it to yourself or keep it between two people.
Okay. So, not beneficial.
Not beneficial, yeah. Well,
but beneficial for entertainment.
Entertainment-wise, yeah. For the viewers, it's good. But for them, it's not because you're talking possibly life and death.
Yeah. All right. So, that's it, guys. That's our show.
Episode 12.
That's episode 12 for you right there.
Yeah.
In the books.
Flew by.
We're in the double digits, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this has been going for 3 months now.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to you guys.
Yep. So as long as you guys keep supporting us, keep commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing this video, talking about it with your friends, or
turning on the little notification bell.
Yeah, turn on the notification bell, suggesting it to other people that you meet on the street or something, or what have you. You know, we really appreciate it. We want to grow and continue to grow and
grow with you guys, most importantly.
Exactly. And we want to build a life out of this, build a career out of this, which would be pretty cool.
So why not we all grow together?
Exactly. So without further ado, I am Mannche. He is Alex Busta. He is Gavinci Raw. This has been Two Couch Talk, and we'll see you guys next week for episode number 13.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, peace, guys.
All right,
Thanks for showing up.
Bye.